Curb the Clog.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Okay. My name is Avery Beddard. I'm the managing director at Curb the Clog. To start off, this is our executive summary. Today we're going to showcase Curb the Clog. We're going to tell you about our daily operations. We're going to tell you about our company's progress. And all that means is 5 things. We're going to explain our company and our product. We're going to give you analysis of our market. We're going to talk to you about marketing and sales and the strategy we have, as well as our operational requirements, and then our financial analysis at the end. So the concept behind Curb the Clog is very simple. We just wanted to get rid of the irritable process that everybody has to use when they're trying to unclog a toilet or some pipes, and we wanted to make it simple, clean, and efficient. So our focus is to capitalize on the flaws that the toilet plunger and the other pipe relieving chemicals today on the market have given us. So basically those flaws for the toilet plungers include the collecting of dust and germs just sitting next to the toilet, and they require physical labor and close contact with the toilet. And as you see in this picture, people will go many lengths so that they don't get splashed when using a plunger. So we can get rid of that. And then as far as the chemicals, they can damage the environment, and they're not safe to use around children and pets because they're obviously very dangerous. So the solution is the Curb the Clog pods, and these eliminate the need for physical labor. They eliminate dust, germs, and they eliminate the harsh chemicals. So about our product. These are a few of the main questions people have. So what are they made of? It's just a very simple water-soluble film that is combined with a bunch of chemicals inside that you can use to quickly and safely dissolve and break up the clog. The next question, how big are the pods? They're very small. It's like the size of a walnut, similar to the Tide Pods if you've ever seen them. And it's small enough that a child can use, and if a child can use it, anybody can use it. And how do you use it? It's very simple. You just take the pod out of the Curb the Clog pack when there's a clog in the toilet or pipes. You plop it in to the toilet, just plop it in, and then you come back and the clog will be practically entirely dissolved, if not completely broken up, and it'll be ready to flush with ease. And here's a little visual on our Curb the Clog. You can see our prototype in the second GIF. So you've got a clog, you grab the clog, or the pack from the Curb the Clog pack, drop it in the water, as you can see in the second. Very simple. And then once it's in there, it releases a burst. And then as you can see with the third GIF, there's no clog. And it's very quick. So the benefits are clear. First off, it's easy. There's no physical labor, unless you consider pulling out a pod physical labor. It's safe. Your children will be fine to use it. Animals could use it if they're trained. Also, 100. That means it's going to work 100% of the time. So you don't have to worry about your clog. You drop it in, you leave. 100% of the time, it's going to be gone. And lastly, it's earth friendly. So it's not going to damage the environment. So now we have some treats. If you guys listen, you get one. So what is the name of our business?
Curb the Clog.
Okay. Yeah. You want a Kit Kat or something? And the other question, last question for me, is how big are the pods?
The size of a walnut?
Around the size.
Around the size.
Do you want a Kit Kat or Okay, so I'm done. Now I'm going to call up Erin Suttmeier, and she's going to talk about marketing. Thank you.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Suttmeier, and I'm
going to talk about the demographics. First of all, our company is located in England, which has a population of about 53 million, which means that there's a lot of people available to buy our product. In England, there is a competitive market, which means there's a lot of different sellers, but there aren't any sellers of a product like ours. Our main competition is really like toilet plungers or drain snakes, so there's nothing like our product on the market. The culture in England is very modern, similar to the United States, and the people are well informed, which means they research or use technology to find what products they want. The benefits of us selling in England are, again, the high technology adoption rate, which means that people are willing to try new things also. And the high income of England means that people have excess money, so they are able to try new things. And since Curb the Clog isn't necessarily a necessity like food or water, people need to have excess income to be willing to try it. Additionally, they like foreign products in England and are interested in things that are produced abroad, such as ours, which is produced in China. And the market has lots of other options, so because ours is different than the other options, people are willing to look into it. Our target market is males ages 17 to 29, and we chose to target this market because they're more likely to be interested in a product that kind of has an explosive aspect to it, and they're also more likely to have things that they'll need to unclog in their pipes. This group is characterized by liking sports and video games, and especially when they're getting into their 20s, are going to be young professionals who will have their own houses and therefore pipes. Also, some key members of this demographic that we can use in advertising are like the members of One Direction in England, or Wayne Rooney, who's a soccer player, or any other members of the Premier League, and then also Daniel Craig, who's an actor. But there's also so many other key members of this group that we can use for advertising. Like I said, our main competition is toilet plungers or sink plungers, as there is a difference, and drain snakes. Because toilet plungers are not a new item, there isn't much advertising, and they kind of sell themselves, and people aren't really shopping around for them, and they don't think about like buying lots of toilet plungers. They just buy one when they need one. So because of this, the weaknesses of toilet plungers are that people aren't shopping around for them. So when we come out with a new product, they're going to be interested in trying something different than what they're used to. The strengths, though, of plungers are that they have a lot of market share and that they've been around, so people know what they're getting, and they're in lots of stores everywhere. Like, you can buy toilet plungers pretty much in most convenience stores, and they're also cheap, so people know that if they buy it, they're basically getting the small amount of money they're paying for it. But the weaknesses of toilet plungers are that there's a lot of germs, and they're not always effective, and you also have to put in a lot of work sometimes, depending what the clog is, in order to clear out your pipes. They're also unsightly because people don't necessarily like to have a plunger just sitting in their bathroom, whereas with Curb the Clog, it's just a little pod. The opportunities for plungers in the market are that there's different designs, and people have automatic rebuy, which means if they need one, they just rebuy it without thinking about it. But the threats are new technology like ours and cleaner alternatives like what we are offering. Risk analysis in terms of Curb the Clog. When it is adopted, it will become the cleaner, easier to use alternative to toilet plungers and unclogging pipes. But with any new product, there are risks associated, such as non-adoption, which means that people won't be willing to switch from what they know. Also, it's an entirely new market, so we're going to have to do a lot of marketing in order to get people to even be interested or aware of our product. And in order to combat this, though, we will be offering samples. And also, customers won't be willing to switch products because they already know what they're getting. But once they see that our product is superior to old-fashioned plungers, it will be sweeping the market. So with that, I have a couple questions. What is our main competition in the market? Okay, and where is our company located? Sorry again. Okay, and now we're gonna have Erin talking about marketing and sales.
Hey guys, I'm Erin. I'm going to talk to you about the marketing and sales for our company, Curb the Clog. So for our marketing strategy, we use the pricing model of the target return pricing. The goal was 18% profit margin. Our actual was 20%. For 2015, again, it was 20%, which is pretty substantial. Our wholesale price of $3.54 per unit allows a lot of room for retail markup. And I got this number, $3.54 per unit, from our sales divided by units sold. Our sales was about a little over 2 million, and our units sold was about 600,000. For our promotion strategy, we basically use three main categories: advertisement, social media, and our website. For advertisements, it's like, for an example, it's like our commercial, our billboard, and we use coupons, and then social media and our website again. So our marketing budget was around $225,000. This allows us to really run outside events and post billboards throughout Europe, and also broadcast our commercial over the internet. So this is our commercial. Let me show you guys. Okay, and this is our billboard. We use like the blast, you can see, is in kind of like a water theme because it's goes with the theme of our Curb the Clog. And this is our coupon. We're going to post this in magazines and newspapers and whatnot to get our company going. And this is an example of our business cards. We also did it in Chinese as well, because that's where our product is manufactured. We have someone on our team who is from China. So. And then these are examples of our social media accounts. Each one, our username is @CurbTheClog. You can see we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. For our sales strategy, we included two main focuses: the channel sellers and the demand generation. So the channel sellers is the sales to retail distributors. So in essence, it's just basically our sales. And then our demand generation is driving consumer awareness. So in essence, that's marketing. For our distribution strategy, we start out in our manufacturing factory in China, and then we will eventually go to our distribution warehouse in England, and then to our distribution, and we're going to sell through these three retail outlets, which Walmart is one that you're familiar with here, and then in England they have what's called Kingfisher and Wix. So I have some questions. What is our username for our social media accounts? Yep. You want to kick it? And then, does anyone remember our profit margin for 2015? Yeah.
20%.
Yes. Good job. You want a Kit Kat or M&M's? Sorry, that was a long drive. Okay, and then next we're gonna have Yuanhui Dong talk about our operations.
Hi, my name is Yuanhui Dong. As the production manager, my job is to ensure the operations to the highest quality and efficiency. This includes managing our staff to the most reasonable quantities and qualities. Curb the Clog is headquartered in London. At the corporate headquarters, the company is divided into 4 divisions for product development and marketing, sales, and finance and human resource. There is a 5th division which performs production tasks, but this division has an office set up in the Chinese factory. At the factory in China, there are 2 managers. The production manager works with the other company division in order to formulate production goals and coordinate transportation between the 2 locations, which are China and England. Beneath this manager is the factory manager, who oversees operation in the production plant and makes the decision to make sure that the factory and its employees can meet the production manager's goals. The research and development division is in charge of designing the product, ensuring that the product is safe and it meets regulatory requirements, and that the product lines up with the goals of other departments. The managing director is in charge of research and development, and his job is to organize labor and the skill in order to produce a product in line with the needs of the other division managers. The marketing and sales division has authority divided between several managers. The marketing director oversees all activities relating to marketing and market research, and develops a marketing plan through coordination with the other corporate divisions. Under the marketing director is a public relations manager, who operates the modes of communication between the company and the public. Also part of marketing and sales division is the distribution manager. This position is in charge of negotiating contracts with retailers and setting up a method of distribution throughout England. Reporting to the distribution manager is a warehouse manager, who oversees operations in the London distribution warehouse and makes sure that the product distribution is meeting the requirement of both the retailer and the distribution manager. The corporate finance division is in charge of the producing budget and a financial report, reporting financial data to the proper officers, and requesting funds from the corporate in order to meet the operational needs of the company. In charge of this task is the CFO, who makes this financial decision to promote efficiency within the company. The human resource division is led by the human resource manager. This position is in charge of hiring new employees, making sure that communication is free-flowing across the company, and helping to set both internal and external disputes. Just like I have mentioned, we have 6 main managers, which are production manager, managing director, and marketing director, and distribution manager, and CFO, and a human resource manager. And we also have the 3 sub-level managers, which are public relations managers, and factory managers, and warehouse managers. And as a production manager, I will be in charge of overseeing all of the production processes in China, and make sure that product is being produced in appropriate quantity and time frames, and according to the corporate and the legal standard. In order to do this, Avery oversees the factory manager, who makes smaller decisions to ensure the factory is producing properly. For our company, executive members, daily operations staffs, and the manager team are a magnificent part. We will have about 3,000 operation staffs that half of them will mainly focus on producing the product throughout China, and the rest of them will be in charge of marketing and sell the product in England. In order to maintain our works, 9 management head members and roughly 500 following team members will be there to supervise and maintain the efficiency and quality of the works. And now I have 2 questions for you guys. And how many managers do we have? How many managers? Ah, yes. Sorry. And how many sub-level managers do we have?
11.
Oh. Less than that.
3.
Yes. Okay, now I'm done my part, and Bradley will talk about the financial stuff. A lot of numbers will come.
Good morning, my name is Bradley Kinzel, and those numbers are very exciting. We have a lot of exciting sales reports to share with you guys, and I'm very excited to do so today. So I'm our Chief Financial Officer, and as she explained, I'm in charge of making financial decisions, making sure the company is financially efficient, and reporting these to the proper authorities. So I'd like to start with sharing some of our business economics with you. Our business structure is a limited liability partnership, and this was beneficial to us because it allowed the owners to make an initial investment and maintain liability only over the investment that we each invested into the company. It also is beneficial because in the United Kingdom, this legal business structure implies that the business will last indefinitely regardless of the membership of the partners. So that means that regardless of our membership, the business could continue on. Now, we started our company with a $900,000 investment, which is represented in our owner's equity. And we're proud to report that after our first year in business, we've already achieved a 48% return on this equity. So what this means is that our net income has generated about half of the initial investment made into the company. So in order to break even, we would have to sell just under $470,000 in additional sales, which would equate to about 660 additional units. 660,000, I'm sorry. And our cost structure for the business is product line. And the reason for this is because most of our fixed costs are associated with manufacturing overhead, administrative overhead, and direct labor. And direct labor is actually our biggest cost, weighing in at about $990,000 US dollars. And our variable costs are more focused around materials and supplies, and that's what goes into the manufacturing process. So basically what this is saying is that our production is ongoing all through the year. It doesn't change too much because we have a steady demand and a pretty universal product. So last year, we sold 600,000 units, which generated over $2 million in sales revenue. But in 2016, we expect to sell even more. We expect to bump our sales up to 800,000 units this year, which is a 200,000 unit increase over last year. And if you remember back to the last slide, our break-even amount is about 660,000. So by doing this, we will be able to break even within the next year of business. And the reason why we expect our sales to increase is because we're spending $225,000, a large amount of money on our marketing campaign. And we also think that we'll get deeper market penetration as more people experience and grow to love our product. So here are some highlights from our financial documents. Our net income reported for last year was $440,430. And this left us with an incredible profit margin of 20%. This was 2% higher than our goal and over 3 times higher than the industry average for small plastic production products. And that industry average is 6%. We're also very efficient in handling our inventory. We turn over our inventory almost 14 times per year as compared to the industry average, which is just under 11 times. And we had inventories of 152,000. So in comparison with our sales revenue, we are turning over this inventory efficiently and up to industry standards. And here are some highlights from our balance sheet. So we have almost $3 million in assets and almost 1.7 million in liabilities. So we're using our assets efficiently. Our return on assets is about 14%, which is in line with the industry standard of 16%. And what this means is that our assets are generating revenues at a rate that's standard in the industry. Our quick ratio and our current ratio are a little low compared to the industry standard, but there are a few reasons for this. One reason is because of our cost structure. If you look at the total assets, you'll notice that there's about a $2 million difference between the current assets and total assets, whereas liabilities, there's only about a $300,000 difference between total and current. And the reason for this is because as a manufacturing company, a lot of our fixed assets are a lot of our assets are focused on fixed assets, which includes like our plant, the land, and the production equipment. So that's part of the reason why these ratios are low. Also, the quick ratio is low because we do hold a large inventory, but this supports our large sales and our growing company. So we believe that our strong profit margin of 20% offsets some of this risk. And at this time, we're not requesting any funds. So I'd like to thank my team. They've all done a wonderful job and put in much hard work into developing this product. And I'd like to thank Dr. Lambdin for giving us this wonderful opportunity to develop the product. And I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today and learning about it. So with that, I'd now like to present our final report to Dr. Lambdin.
Right. To him. Put the camera. We'll ask some questions real fast and we'll get the team picture. Y'all questions? How shocking is that? How are you going to fix your quick ratio?
Over time, our inventory is going to be more efficient as we develop our company and our manufacturing process more.
Okay, good. Who made your ad? Who made your
Which one?
advertisement? The video.
Avery.
Really? Nice. Well done. Good. Where in China will you produce this? Where in China?
Beijing.
Beijing. Good. Do walnuts vary in size?
Yes. But
So we're talking about the average walnut or the Asian walnut or
just the average adult.
the average adult walnut? Good. How does one plop?
I'll have to show you. I can.
Okay. Good enough. Good enough. Is it edible?
But
You said it was safe for animals and kids and stuff? They ate it?
well, safe for them to use.
Safe for them to use. Okay, good. Good. What is a drain snake?
It's like it's like a long, like wire kind of, and you put it all the way down, and then you pull it out, like if there's hair in your
Oh,
skin,
how disgusting would that be?
and it comes out.
More need for your product there. Why not produce in England?
Too expensive.
Too expensive. Good. Okay. I noticed that you're talking about dollars. You can convert from dollars to pounds to yuan, or yuan to pounds to dollars.
Yes, we converted it all to dollars since you guys are Americans and we wanted it to be convenient and easily
You're
representable.
saying the bloody Americans are too stupid to convert.
No, it was just
That's what I heard. Why doesn't England use the euro? I asked you this before. And you still didn't find the answer. It's okay. It's a trick question. Will it work well in PVC as well as iron? It won't blow up PVC?
No,
Piping?
it can be used in all pipes.
Good, good. You said it costs about $354, that's about 2 pounds?
Yes.
You sure? That's pretty cheap to curb a clog, if you think about how much it costs for a plumber to come in. Don't y'all think so? That's pretty cheap for getting your clog curbed. Then you don't have to mess with that. How many of y'all have had to plunge? Is there anything worse than that? You disgust me anyway. I noticed you didn't mention anyone from QPR advertising your product. Why is that?
QPR?
Yeah, Queens Park Rangers.
They're not good enough.
They aren't good. That's, I will take that answer. One final question, because you've done fine. I've already pulled out here about your F, so we will. What is deeper market penetration?
We expect more people to use our product.
More people to use your product. I can't understand why anyone wouldn't use it, given that you don't have to plunge and it's cheap in terms of dealing with that. So the final question, indeed, that I have for you in this regard is Lester going to pull it off?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, give it up for Curb the Clog. You're a genius.